Sightings of the cannibalistic Wendigo have been reported in the forests of cold weather areas like Minnesota and Canada. As the tale goes, the Wendigo was once a lost hunter during a brutally cold winter. This man's intense hunger drove him to cannibalism. After feasting on another human's flesh, he transformed into a crazed man-beast, roaming the forest in search of more people to eat. The story of the Wendigo comes from Native American folklore, and the exact details vary depending on who you ask. Some people who have claimed to encounter the beast say it's a relative of Bigfoot, but other reports compare the Wendigo to a werewolf instead. Since the Wendigo is said to be a cold weather creature, most sightings have been reported in Canada as well as colder northern states such as Minnesota. At the turn of the 20th century, tribes blame many unsolved disappearances of people when Wendigo attacks. I am Cryptid Creep. The following is theories and sightings, as well as an actual medical condition. Number 5. Wendigo psychosis. Every so often, a mythological creature will become so iconic that a medical condition will be named after it. The chimera lends its name to genetic chimerism, in which a human being has more than one set of DNA. We get the word phobia from phobos, the Greek personification of fear. Narcissism and Protus syndrome all come from ancient mythology. The Wendigo too has a namesake, and as you might expect, it's downright unpleasant. Wendigo psychosis is a fascinating condition with a storied history. It's a term for what happens to people who, for one reason or another, turn to eating other people. Shock factor aside, it's especially eye-catching that it isn't necessarily a result of being desperate for food. In fact, some of the most famous cases of Wendigo psychosis seem to have sprung up for no reason at all. Whether it's an actual psychiatric condition or the result of culturally embedded fears taking hold of people is a matter of debate, but the stories are gripping. Number 4. Still out there today. The vast majority of supposed Wendigo sightings happened between the 1800s and 1920s. Few reports of the Wendigo have surfaced since then. However, people who are curious about seeing the man-beast would most likely try their luck in nearby forests during the colder months. Much like other legendary beasts, the Wendigo remains a fixture in pop culture in modern times. The creature has been referenced and sometimes even depicted in a variety of hit television shows, including Supernatural, Grimm, and Charmed. Interestingly enough, there are even a couple of lakes today named after the beast, including a Lake Wendigo in Minnesota and a Wendigo Lake in Wisconsin. But those who believe in the physical Wendigo think he might still be out there, in the woods. And underneath the terrifying flesh-eating demon, there might still be a human man who was once just a hungry hunter. Number 3. Swiftrunner. The man known as Swiftrunner was generally well liked for a while. He was a member of the Cree tribe, and he had worked as a guide for the local mounted police. But toward the end of 1878, he took his family into the woods and walked into macabre history. The next time he was seen in public was in the spring of 1879. He claimed that his entire family, including his wife and 6 children, had died of starvation during the harsh winter months. The police, however, couldn't help but notice that the man himself didn't look like he had missed a meal. They investigated his campsite and discovered grisly remains. Bones picked clean of meat, some with the marrow hollowed out, a skull with a shoe jammed inside. When confronted about the crime, Swiftrunner confessed to having killed and eaten his family. Swiftrunner's story went on to become the go-to example of Wendigo psychosis, since it's believed that he had ready access to means of survival besides slaughtering and consuming his entire family. The full truth will probably never be known, and the world's most famous Wendigo was executed in late 1879 in Alberta's first government-sanctioned hanging. Number 2. An old native tale. It had been a long, harsh winter with snowstorms that left behind large drifts. When the latest storm briefly broke, a father sent his son to hunt for much-needed food. The son, keeping his spear and knife close, looked for any trace of animal tracks in the snow. The forest was oddly quiet, gleaming with snow and ice. As the son moved through the trees, he heard a strange hissing sound. It seemed to come from everywhere. He spotted blood-soaked footprints in the path in front of him. He sensed a Wendigo was watching him. He knew about this creature because his father had described it to him as a child. It was as large as a tree with a lipless mouth and jagged teeth. As it breathed, it hissed. It had matted hair that was often covered in a long white robe, a star mark on its forehead. The creature's footprints always trailed blood. It was known to kill and eat any human that crossed its path. The son knew if he didn't prevail, he would die. He backed away slowly from the hissing sound. He gripped his spear in one hand and his knife in the other. A snowbank next to him erupted as the creature leapt at him. He rolled quickly through the snow to one side. The white snow that now covered him concealed him from view. The Wendigo whipped his massive frame around quickly, looking for him. The son threw his spear, striking the creature squarely in the chest. The Wendigo grunted and easily shook the spear off. The son hid behind a small tree as the creature continued to search for him. The Wendigo approached his hiding place. His sharp eyes spotted the boy's outline against the tree. The creature bent toward him, its long arms reaching out. The son, taking his last chance, raced forward and embraced the creature, at the same time thrusting his knife deeply into the Wendigo's eye. It screamed in pain as the knife twisted deeper into his brain. The creature tried to pull the boy off his chest, but the son stubbornly clung to him, stabbing one eye, then the other again and again. The Wendigo finally collapsed to the ground, crushing the boy beneath him. The son pulled himself loose and stood staring down at the creature. Its form started to fade against the snow, only the blood pouring from its eye and ears showing any contrast to the snow. The figure completely disappeared, leaving just a pool of blood where it fell. The boy, shaken and tired and still terrified, headed for home. The fates were with him because at the edge of the wood a fat red fox appeared. With a prayer of thanksgiving, the son killed the fox and took it home to his starving family. The meat lasted for several days. When the last winter storm had come and gone, the son could once again hunt for food. Number 1. Are Wendigos real? It is the opinion of many that indeed the Wendigo is real in one shape or form, whether it's a mental condition, evil spirit, the act of cannibalism, or a monster in the woods. It's my opinion that Wendigo is real. It's a monster that can lurk in the woods or in your head. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more content. Thanks for watching, and be safe.